Hi everyone, my name is Chef Alexis Bouillet and I am Chef Manuel Bouillet, and today we are going to introduce you the orange Cointreau flan. So if you are ready, let's get started. So for the step number 2 for the flan, we are going to do a Mandarin marmalade. So to do so, we have some fresh mandarin and we will start to boil them several times and strain the water in order to remove the bitterness and to become soft for the mandarins. So we can just boil the mandarin for a few minutes for each step of the process, and then strain it, put some clean water, and then start again. For this process, we will do it 3 times. Okay, so as you can see now, our oranges are like nice and soft. It's really important to have them a little bit soft, like that. When we blend them, it will transform themselves as a puree. So I'm just gonna remove them over here, and then pass them to Alexis, and we're gonna start to chop them, then blend them. So then the idea for the mandarin is like, I'm gonna cut first in 2 parts, and as you can see, there is a white part in the middle. This part should be removed in order to also have just the fruit itself, and also to make sure we remove the bitterness, because this part in the middle is pretty bitter. So before to chop it, I need to open it and also to remove this central part. So after I don't need to chop it, I will put directly inside, and Manuel will blend with the remaining purees. So now we have a beautiful puree. What we want is to, by having like those whole oranges, that's gonna bring more texture and also more flavor. So you will have like a more like a puree effect instead of just having something as a juice. So the base of our mandarin marmalade is done. So we have combined together the puree and also the boiled mandarin. So then I'm gonna place into my saucepan. Then on the side we'll have the sugar and the pectin. The pectin will help us to have a thicker texture, and then it will set when it will be refrigerated. And then at the end we'll have a little bit of gelatin mass. Gelatin mass also will help to make it set. Then of course we'll chill this confit below 40 degrees Celsius, and then at the end I will scale in my small cup the Cointreau. Now that our mixture is under 40 degrees, and we can add gradually the mix of sugar and pectin. And then we just keep boiling it for 30 seconds, 1 minute, and after we'll just stop it. Then we can add gelatin, and we'll finish by the Cointreau under 40 degrees and chill it until it's completely set. Okay, so our mandarin is now finished. Mandarin puree is nice and also well combined with the sugar and NH. I'm gonna pour into a mixing bowl, and then we add the gelatin. And the gelatin, you only need to add it towards the end of the process. Do not boil the confit with the gelatin, because that might alterate the gelatin itself. We just combine well together just by whisking it, and then towards the end, below 40 degrees Celsius, then we'll add the Cointreau. So it is important to chill it first before we add it. Okay. I will simply cover it with the plastic wrap and then keep it in the refrigerator or even in the freezer. Then later on we add the Cointreau. So now our Mandarin marmalade is under 40 degrees. Now we can scale the Cointreau 60 and incorporate inside. The biggest advantage of using the Cointreau 60 in this preparation is it will help you to reduce the amount of liquid into the marmalade, because the Cointreau 60 is 6 times more concentrated than the regular Cointreau 40. So just the minimum of liquid inside, but at least you will get something very refreshing and with a nice Cointreau orange flavor. So then this preparation is done. We're gonna just put into a piping bag, ready to use it on our flan. So now we go for step 3 for our flans, which is the Cointreau orange cream. So we have placed here our milk and also the cream, and also I'm gonna place the oranges or Mandarin zest, up to you, and the sugar. Then on the side, we'll start to prepare over here the yolks with the other half of the sugar, and then we'll have our cornstarch. So then on the side, we're gonna start to pour the sugar with the yolks, and then we're gonna combine really well together. And then I will add my cornstarch. And you will see that the texture will be a little bit thick. So we will also get a little bit of milk to dissolve well this thick texture. This will really help us to combine well at the end. So we can pour like a tiny bit of milk inside just to make it slightly more sweet. Okay, so then now when the milk is boiling, milk and cream with the zest and the first part of the sugar, I'm gonna pour part of it. Then we pour everything back in the saucepan. Okay, so then we pour everything back into the saucepan and we're gonna cook it as a regular custard cream. Okay, so after boiling the cream and completely activated the cornstarch, we can stop the induction. Pour over here into the pitcher, and then on the side I will start to scale the Cointreau. So only for this recipe we will incorporate the Cointreau when the cream is warm, because after we need to bake everything all together. So of course we will concentrate a bit more the quantity of Cointreau, because the baking process of course will evaporate part of it, but still we will keep some flavor of the Cointreau. Alright, so let's scale the Cointreau now, and then we'll blend everything together by using the immersion blender. Okay, so now I'm gonna use the immersion blender, and this will help me to have a very smooth texture for my flan. Yeah, perfect. So you can see we have a very nice and smooth texture. It is very important to blend it to combine together Cointreau 60 and our base of orange custard cream, and then we'll pour right away into our baked puff pastry. So now our puff pastry is correctly baked after 40 minutes in the oven. We can just remove nicely the 5-inch ring. And you see we have a nice and crispy golden brown color for our puff pastry, which is a very good sign to keep the crispiness after the final baking process with the cream. So then we're gonna pour our hot cream. This is very important to pour the cream when it's hot, and then inside the baked flan shell. And then you want to be like almost to the top. Of course, keep a few millimeters below the top. And then this flan, before we bake it, we need actually to chill it. This is very important. If you put the flan right now in the oven, what's gonna happen is the flan is gonna start to boil, and then the cream will overflow over like the top. So then you want to chill it nicely to avoid this kind of phenomena. Okay, so then we cool it down, and then we'll be ready to bake in the oven for the next step. Okay, so now our flan is nice and cold after around 1, even 2 hours into the fridge. It's up to you, as long as the cream is totally set and slightly colder. So now it is time to bake it. We're gonna bake it for about 20 to 25 minutes at 180 degrees. Alright, so now our flan has been baked. As you can see, we have a beautiful color on the top. Then we're gonna remove the ring, and on the side we're gonna combine our yolks and cream together. That will help us to create an egg wash. Then we'll brush on the side of our flan. That will make it shiny, but also will preserve from the humidity. And then brush it. We want to apply a very thin layer just to make it shiny. But if you apply too much, then you're gonna make an omelette. So of course, it's not good. After this step, then we'll put it back in the oven. So you can keep even the same temperature, and then it will take you like 3-4 minutes just to make it like nice golden brown. So this is our final step for the decoration of our Cointreau flan. The first step is to apply generously on the top, spread a little bit with to make it regular, nice and clean with the spatula. So then the decoration for this flan is going to be quite simple. A flan is a very traditional pastry, so you don't want to overly decorate this kind of item. So we'll decorate with some candied oranges and then some lemon balm. So the flan is such a classical dessert, but if the puff pastry is well baked correctly, then after you have the cream also pretty well baked, and then you have a nice marmalade on the top. It makes everything tastier. So here it is, our version of the Cointreau and Mandarin flan. Hopefully you will like it. Okay, so now it's time for tasting, and we're gonna start to cut it. So the flan is slightly creamy, and you have the nice and thin layer of marmalade on the top. So you have this nice contrast between the freshness of the Mandarin marmalade, and in the middle you have the very creamy and rich Cointreau cream and a nice puff pastry on the side. So we can see how jiggling is the flan. So I mean the texture is really creamy. Yep. The flan is really creamy. So hopefully you will really enjoy this version of our Cointreau Mandarin flan. We wanted to make it really refreshing and really creamy in the middle. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.